generations. And now, the power of two restores the one.
We got a bidet! Hey everybody, and welcome back for another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about my thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws. So, as you can see, if you have been with us on the channel, that we have played through the entirety of the main game of Outlaws. And although I kind of wanted to make this video like right after, I also decided maybe we should play some of the side quests and whatnot and get a better picture of what's going on here. So I'm going to give my thoughts. I'm going to tell you what I thought was good, what was bad, and then basically my overall rating and thoughts for the game. So let's start with the good. So I would say that this game is very ambitious, and it was a really, really good open world Star Wars game. Um, I really enjoyed the ability to go to different planets, to go and search all the different, like these different regions of the planets, and just explore and see all the cool things that they could put in the game. So, for instance, one cool touch that I thought was, I mean, it shocked me actually for a second because it startled me. But like when I was on Tatooine and I was doing one of these side quests where you had to go and find like these random vaults. Well, one of the vaults was like in the middle of the desert, and there was some creatures out there. Like I think it was a crate dragon, just based on what I saw, like a small one, or maybe some sort of sandworm as well. Not 100% sure what it was, but it was startling. It was kind of like, oh, I better get this thing, and I better. Um, get into the vault so I can get what I need and get the heck out of here, hop on my speeder and get away from this creature. So I thought that was like a really cool little added piece to it. It's really fun to walk around the different like cities and towns that they created and walk into the cantinas. It really feels like you are in some sort of smuggler's world. And I don't really think that the game does anything to distract you otherwise. Minus one small thing that I thought wasn't super necessary, but it's a major spoiler, so I'm not going to cover that here. I'll give a little more detail when we get to like the bad part, but I'm not going to explicitly say what it was. Um, let's see, what other things were good? I really liked that you could do like all the gambling type stuff. So like you could play sabacc, you could, bet on the races. You could cheat. So that was kind of a cool little element here too. Um, I liked eventually where the game went with the main story. So I would say what's kind of like a half good, half bad thing about the game. I think the good is where it ended up, and the final mission was a lot of fun. There was actually a couple of missions that were a lot of fun, but there's one thing that I want to, kind of put out there because a lot of things that I see other people saying is that this game is repetitive. Yes, it is repetitive. And this is kind of how it works. And this is why I think it's like it is repetitive, but it's also new at the same time. If it, Bear with me here. So let's say that the first mission is A. And the second mission, it does what we did in A, but it also adds something. So now we got A, B. And then we go to do the third mission. And so now we got the stuff from the past. So like the what we hopefully liked in the past, A, B, but now we add C. So mission 3 is A, B, C. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? So like there's a lot of things that we do in the past that pop up in these later missions, but there is something unique about these individual missions as we progress. Are all the missions, associated with the Imperials? No. Are all of them associated with dealing with these different uh, groups. I forget the gangs and stuff like that. No, they mix it up pretty well. There's roughly 23 missions, I think I remember. So it is a pretty decently long game, just from the main game point of view. And then plus you got all the extras. So I'm still playing it. I probably only got like half the trophies, so I got tons of stuff still to do. Um, the overall story, as far as what's going on, with KVS, um, I thought it was a pretty good, at least first game story. Essentially, there's this big heist that's going down, and you got to put a crew together. And then by the time that you get your crew together, then at the end of the game, you try to pull off this big heist. And then there's also some like personal relationship issues along the way. So like it's a pretty standard story for smugglers or like this world, so I think it was good. I'm I would be very excited to see what they do with a sequel. Just because, we've seen what in my opinion, it's kind of what was expected for a story right here. Where can we go from this? How can we build on it? So, um, okay, so let's talk about some of the things that I didn't like. So I was saying that there's some cameo things going on there that I think didn't quite hit. So when you're going through like the different areas, okay, a lot of the things that you do is crawl through vents. There's tons and tons of vents that you crawl through. And if you crawl through some of these vents, sometimes they have a window like on the side and you can like look in and see what's going on. Usually it looks like some sort of like shady deal or job that's going on. But one of them that we see is Boba Fett. And that's not the big one that I'm trying to avoid here, but we all knew Boba Fett was going to be in this game. Duh. But that's the capacity that he's in, at least from what I have experienced so far. I played the entire main game and I've played a good handful of the side missions. If he's in another side mission, well, that's on me. But currently, all I saw was basically him talking to somebody. And so that really, it I wish I'd seen more of him early on or just throughout the story. I feel like with being involved with smugglers and bounty hunters are out there, I feel like those things would go together quite a bit more. But um so with that being said, it's kind of like, well, are they trying to, deter away from relying on these big cameos to, make a impact in their game? They're trying to be super original. Well, there's a big cameo towards the end of the game that I thought really didn't fit. Now, am I excited and happy that he was like, well, I don't know about if happy is really quite the word, but it was exciting to see this cameo in the game. Do not get me wrong. I thought it was cool. But does it really fit the game? I don't think so. I feel like that is something that should have been cut and it should have been like a different angle. Um, yeah, we're gonna kind of leave it at that because I don't want to give away any spoilers. But if you play the game and you get towards the end where you're like really starting to infiltrate some Imperial stuff, um, yeah, that's where it's at. So let's see here. Oh, so when we watched the trailer, even like the very first trailer, I believe, we understand what time period we are in because we see Han Solo and Carbonite, so that tells us it has to be between 5 and 6, right? I thought with the way that that trailer was perceived was that maybe this heist was going to be around that. Like maybe something happened between 5 and 6 where, Boba had him, but somebody else wanted him, and then we get mixed up in it. And then we have to figure out like how does it actually get to Jabba's palace? Like how does Boba Fett get one over on us or something? I don't know. But I was kind of sad that that really wasn't more involved with the game. I think as far as that trailer went, that was just purely to show us the time period. The only thing that I remember playing in the main game that associated with Han Solo and Carbonite was when we went to Jabba's palace. we saw him already there. And so when I saw that, I was like, that's kind of strange. I feel like we should have done something here, but it's whatever. Um, so another big topic that was going on when this game was, about to release was, if you bought the regular version of the game, like the straight up $70 version, you didn't get access to the like Jabba's Gambit or whatever mission right away. You had to get like the season pass to get something like that. Um, I played the mission and at least I think I did. I don't know. I thought it was. And the one that I played that I believe is the one that they're talking about, I don't really think it was like if you were trying to get the upgraded version just for that mission, don't do that. The mission wasn't as exciting as I had hoped it to be. It felt like just like any other mission in the game. There wasn't anything super exciting or um unique about it. So just wait on that. If you plan to get the season pass later on and you want to play this level, it's not going to be the end of the world if you wait. So, the graphics. Sometimes, okay, so this is like a sometimes positive, sometimes negative. So sometimes the graphics look amazing. There are times where this game looks amazing. There's other times where it looks horrible. As far as like the characters. So there's times where Kay Vess, her hair looks amazing. There's times it looks like she's wearing a bath towel on her head. So it's give and take. Yeah. So maybe that's going to be one of the things that they touch up as they move forward. The game designer and all that have come out and said like they were somewhat disappointed with the reception of the game, and so they want to make it better. Maybe that'll be something that they focus on. They've already released a patch of trying to make some things better in the game. I haven't noticed a whole lot of difference just because I made it through the main game already, and it seemed like it was kind of focusing on some of those missions. But yeah, it is what it is. Some people experience the save data wipe. I have not. I have experienced game crashes 2 or 3 times, which is annoying, but I have not lost my save data yet, knock on wood. So there was that with the game. Trying to think of anything else that was really poorly done. I don't probably the last thing I'll mention is the combat. So can it be diverse and unique? Yes, it can. But it is based on how you modify your blaster. But the blaster is the only main weapon you have the entire game. And it can change from basically single shots to semi-automatic or blasts. So I get it that that's kind of a way to have a weapon that is specific to K, and it's what she uses. Like you wouldn't give Boba Fett some other random gun as opposed to what he normally uses, right? So I understand that part of it, but the thing that drove me absolutely nuts, and if there's one thing that I think that they should update in the game later on, is some sort of inventory system. So you can pick up as much junk as you want in the world and sell it to the different vendors. I mean, seriously, you can have tons and tons of inventory when it comes to that. But when it comes to picking up like blasters and stuff, if you pick up a blaster and then you go to like climb a ladder or hop up onto a ledge, you will automatically drop that weapon and then you don't get to use it unless you go back there and find a different way to get to where you were going, where you don't have to interact with those other things. You can hold on to the weapon. That absolutely sucked. I really hated that. I felt like I really couldn't get used to any of the other weapons. I couldn't get good with them. It was just, if I see them, it would be a small, exciting, uh, different thing to do, essentially. Like there wasn't any ownership of those weapons. Once you use them, like once you go through the clip, you drop it. There's no way to go around and pick up extra clips And once you basically have to run the weapon out, and then if there's another one on the ground, you can go pick that up. Which I get it. If it actually has bullets in it, then that makes sense. But at least from the previous Star Wars games, some of these weapons, they just kind of recharge, like K-Vesses, right? So, um, I don't know. I think it was a misstep to make you have to drop these weapons. Like, if the rule was you only get to carry one secondary weapon, okay, that's fine. But dropping it every single time, no, that's terrible. That needs to be fixed. Um, so overall thoughts, I had a lot of fun with the game. I'm still having a lot of fun with the game. I look forward to, because I got the gold edition, I look forward to the season pass content. I do. I don't want to people be like, "Oh, you're just being nice about the game. It's terrible." No, I thought it was pretty good, especially for kind of, I mean, I know Knights of the Old Republic was in the past. That's kind of an open world game in a way. But I feel like this was a very, very solid entry for Ubisoft for Star Wars open world. And I'm really hoping that they're able to branch off of this and, make another one or make something similar to it with maybe a different character that maybe it's not K-Vest, maybe it's a different scoundrel or just a different type of character in the Star Wars galaxy. Who knows? Um, I thought the planets were really cool. I thought they were diverse enough to like feel like their own thing. So that was really cool. I will say one other cool thing. I know I'm like rambling off some other good things that I had that I didn't say in the beginning, but the one thing, if I were to say about one planet that I really appreciated, it was Canto Bight. And this is why. So I am not a big fan of The Last Jedi. We've talked about that. However, in The Last Jedi, we see Canto Bight. It's an interesting place, but we really don't explore it too much. At least in my opinion, I feel like that could have been a whole movie in itself, especially a smuggler type movie. And we really get to explore Canto Bight here in this game. And I thought it really gave it some sort of extra life or a nice revisit in this game. So that would probably be one of the coolest things I thought with the planets. Of course, we travel to some other sequel trilogy planets. We go to some original trilogy stuff. I don't think we traveled any like specific prequel. Of course, Tatooine is in the prequels, but I'm not going to count that. I'm going to count that as the original trilogy. But I don't think there's any prequel planets. But unless they happen to be from the Clone Wars or something, and I just missed it. But overall, I'd probably give this game about an 8 out of 10. I did enjoy the game. I there wasn't enough where I was like, this is horrible. I want to stop playing because of XYZ. No, that never really happened. It was frustrating with the crashes, of course, but the gameplay itself, I enjoyed it. And honestly, I hope you do too. Um, Good stuff. So, if you enjoy this type of video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Drop us a like if you like the video and drop us a comment letting us know your thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws. And then, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.